The little black crossbreed was usually an obedient and quiet dog, but on this day he wouldn't stop barking, running back and forth from his adoptive owner to the area of the quiet, dark house. She'll never stop thanking him for being so disruptive on that fateful night. Hello, wonderful people. I'm Scott Leffler for WonderBot, and here is her dog won't stop barking, but when she follows him, it's too late. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. The older kids had retreated to their rooms, and the 32-year-old mother had tucked the middle children snugly into their beds. Now all that were left were the toddler and newborn to tend to before she could finally fall into bed and rest her tired body. But the cold night was about to change in a way that she couldn't ignore. The Fulmer family is a full house. Angela Fulmer is 32 years old, and her ever-growing brood consists of Landon, age 12, Alexander, who's 10, Jadja, 9, Ronan, 7, Inara, 6, Mizodi, 5, Khaleesi, 3, Mordecai, 20 months, and Atrio, now 5 months. Father Isaac Fulmer is a full-time long-distance truck driver and often on the road, leaving Angela to manage her soccer team of kids alone. Oftentimes it was a very long day shuffling kids to different schools, fetching, carrying, then getting back to tend to the 4 youngest children, the stay-at-homers as she calls them, all the while studying to complete her 4-year degree at Mercy College of Health Sciences and Student Affairs. Just 2 parents doing the best they could for their beautiful family. Picked up about a year ago by Isaac, Capone had been running along the interstate in real danger of being hurt by a fast-moving car or bigger. Hungry, alone, and with no chip or collar to say who he belonged to previously, Isaac stopped his truck and scooped the little mixed-breed doggy into his arms and set off home to show the family the pup whose life he'd saved. He was a young dog, not more than a year or 2 old, and he'd landed with his bum and butter. Not 1, not 2, but 9 kids to play with all day. What more could a dog want? He grew to adore each and every one of the family, but especially Alexander. He loved the little boy with a disability and would do anything to protect him. After everyone had been fed and bathed, it was finally the end of another routine day. Angela had just drifted off to sleep after putting the baby down when Capone began barking incessantly. Angela scolded the dog and told him to shush before he woke Atreyu and Mordecai. But Capone wouldn't stop. He barked louder and began running in and out of the room. Alone with only the kids to protect Angela, she became nervous. She tiredly got up to investigate what was upsetting the dog and only prayed it was a raccoon and not a burglar. Most of the kids slept upstairs, but luckily Angela was on the ground floor of the parents' old house, which they were renting while saving for a bigger place for the growing family. She tiptoed after the dog and wondered why he was making such a racket anyway. Capone was speeding from Angela through the house and back again. As she followed him quickly through the passageway, she realized that he was running in and out of the kitchen. The lights were all off throughout the house, but the kitchen was lit as though a candle was flickering around a breeze that wasn't quite extinguishing it, then jumping back to full height. A sickening feeling took hold in her stomach as she rounded the corner. The plug to the microwave was smoldering, and as she watched the plug burst into a small flame, Angela thought to put it out. But before she could even move to do so, the flame erupted to scorch the ceiling. She grabbed the 2 sets of car keys hanging on the wall beside her as the smoke alarm began shrieking. There was about 10 seconds I thought I could put it out and then suddenly rush to the ceiling, so I knew we had to get everyone out instead. She had to get the children. Yelling as she came charging up the stairs for Landon to ready the older kids, she shook him awake. The oldest of 9 leaped into action without question, rounding up the older of his brothers and sisters. His mom ran back upstairs and did the same with the smaller ones. Were they too late? Not 5 minutes later, and the entire Fulmer family was safely outside and in the car and doing roll call. They watched as their parents' and grandparents' house was engulfed in flames, licking at the rooftop with smoke seeping out of cracked doorways and windows. 911 was en route, but it was too late. There was no hope left. The family sat and watched as they lost everything, but they were thankful that the most important things were inside the car. The family was safe. But they had a new problem. Where were they going to sleep? Was there somewhere that would be able to take in the entire family of 11? Water and smoke damage left them with absolutely nothing. But through a rallying of the community and a GoFundMe page set up by Isaac's aunt, They received donations of clothing and other items. The family took shelter in a hotel room, but Capone was not allowed to stay with them. Even when they found 2 apartments that could house them all, he was still far away. Finally, the time came for the family to move into a house of their very own. A lovely big house that could fit every one of the Fulmers, plus a fenced-in yard for Capone, the little black lassie that adores his family. Before this, he was inconsolable at being away from the kids. He barely ate and wandered around the family friend's home listlessly. He probably wondered what he'd done wrong. Capone always slept at the foot of Alexander's bed. The two have a special bond, and that's exactly what he did when reuniting with his humans at long last. He also couldn't believe his luck when it was the baby's tummy time on a blanket. He wouldn't leave her side, watching over her like a proud guardian. Angela didn't even think about it, but when a friend said Capone should be put up for the American Humane Hero Dog Award, she knew it was the perfect way to honor the pup. Owners all across the country nominated their dogs for the award in 7 different categories: law enforcement/arson, emerging hero, guide/hearing, military, search and rescue, service and therapy. He soon began to get votes and jumped up to the semifinal round, pitted against a chocolate lab mix. Angela Fulmer said it was someone else's idea to enter Capone, but that he deserved recognition for everything he's done for their family. The fire alarm didn't go off for the first couple when the fire was already a good way through the kitchen and dining room. If Capone had not barked and insisted I listen to him, it would have been so much less time to get everyone out. But everyone got out, even the dogs. And today is poor Landon's birthday, but the kind firefighter saved his new birthday iPod. The rescue dog, who became the rescuer of 10 human lives, repaid his human family with the ultimate gift a dog can give. He has everything a dog could ever wish for: endless playtime and boundless love from the entire family. He'll never know how famous he's become after going viral for his heroics on the internet, but his family definitely knows how special he is. He means a lot to us because he saved our lives. He barked probably a couple minutes before the smoke alarms even went off, and the whole downstairs was gone within 5 minutes, and 4 of us were sleeping downstairs. So it would have been a lot more detrimental if it hadn't been for Capone, Fulmer said.